Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
Is Coco. Now, this is actually, we got a couple tweets online saying, hey, did you guys see this? Yeah, did you guys see this? And I finally got a chance to see it. I saw it with my kids. And I gotta say, it's fantastic. It's
really
Pixar. They just nailed it again. And it's one of those movies that the trailers deliberately don't give anything away, which is unusual for an animated movie because you've got to sell it to kids. So there can't be a lot of ambiguity in the trailer. But for the Coco trailer, it is like what's it about? It's like, okay, it's Day of the Dead, music. That's all I really know about it. And going in, that's all any of us knew about it. So what I really liked about it is it sets up, you have a boy, Miguel, who's, great, I think it's great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, was a musician but then left and, left the great-great-grandmother. And it goes into the aspects of, you abandoned your family to pursue a music career, and, your family's the most important thing, and we all make shoes, so you're going to be a shoemaker. And he's like, no, I want to be a musician like my family, but my great-grandfather. So then, the magic happens. He gets transported into the Day of the Dead, and he finds his relatives. So, but that's where it starts. But the movie actually has some unexpected twists in it, which I wasn't expecting, which are really cool. And if we do a spoiler ep on it, well, we can talk about them for sure. But I will say this: Pixar has another home run on their hands. It was heartfelt. It was funny. It was beautifully animated, and also you could see the progression of every Pixar animated film, the way just the characters move. We've come such a long way from Toy Story, the way humans move in a Pixar animated film. But even just the progression from to say The Incredibles to here is amazing. Mm-hmm. This one. But just the level, not just the level of detail, but the level of background detail, where you could tell animators were just working on it for years and years. And it actually said this movie was in active production between 2011 and 2017. So it set the record for being the Pixar animated film with the longest production schedule. That's 6 years in active production. So I think that even might be more than Kubo. That was stop motion. So, they put a lot of Easter eggs in it, which is cool. Like when Miguel is walking down the street at the beginning of the movie, you can spot piñatas of some Pixar characters, Buzz Lightyear, Woody, and Mike Wazowski, among others. But and it also did very well in Mexico, as expected. It surpassed The Avengers as the country's highest-grossing film in Mexico. So, but here's what I want to say about this movie, especially because we're talking about diversity. We're talking about different cultures, and we're talking about opportunities for more minority actors and actresses. This is what this movie did so well. What Hollywood has a tendency to do is overcorrect. All right, well, you want a diversity movie. All right, here's a Mexican movie. There's no thought or energy into it. It's well, here, you wanted a Mexican movie, but no, it has to be a good movie first. Mm-hmm. The way Pixar created this movie with such care and craft is, yes, it's a Mexican cultural story about Day of the Dead, but that doesn't matter. The story is still about the relationships between people, and that translates into any culture and any race and any society. Just the backdrop happens to be the Mexican culture and Day of the Dead. So that's the way you do it. That's the way you do diversity. That's the way you do, and you get more people to see your product. Because it's if this was promoted as oh, this is a Mexican only story, you're only going to like it if you're Hispanic. First of all, you're closing the tent to an entire audience. Second of all, you're not opening up minds that might be interested, to learn about other cultures.
That's the key, I think, is that when it should be about learning about other cultures, because that will bridge the gap of any disparities, of any racism. Is let's, if you just say different, the hell with you, or this group is separate, or whatever. Then it's. It's
not the way to go.
No.
And this movie did such an amazing job of showing that look, we're all the same. We're all people. We all have the same relationships. We all have the same family bonds. You know, we're just showing it in the context of the Hispanic culture of Day of the Dead. So I thought it was fantastic. It was a really, really fun movie.
Shot first, kitten heads across the